Aha! Good morning, my friends. We are late. Yes, Camera Mandy and I had a little tiff this morning. Yes, she is trying to get on Geeky and Rob, Six Grand Moose, at the same time. And apparently, for some reason, the software is not working the way it's supposed to, and so she's trying really hard, which I appreciate, but we can't be this late all the time. So that's why we had a little argument. But she's mad at me right now. Go ahead, Camera Mandy. Tell everybody why you're mad at me.
Nothing.
Oh, you're going to give the silent treatment to the chat? You're going to be all silent now, Camera Mandy? You're never silent.
I'm not silent.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to our happy show. Hold on. We're trying to figure out Rob.
I just said do one at a time. That'll be fine because Geeky and Rob are very entertaining, both of them, and so.
No, it's not that. It's that Rob's not working at all. So we're trying to get Rob onto the.
So Rob is broke.
Yes.
Sorry, Rob. It's rough to be you.
Okay.
Anyway, my friends, it is a good morning, good Saturday morning. I must tell you that I didn't work last night. I was going to, and I kind of hit the wall, and Ms. Goo plied me with wine, and I went to bed at like 8:30, 9 o'clock, something crazy like that. I usually never go to bed anywhere near before midnight, 11 o'clock, something like that. And we didn't wake up until like 8. So I think I needed some sleep. But the good news is we are extraordinarily close now on Dark and Haven, even with the addition of, now Lauren says it's 108 pages or something silly like that. But it's good. It was really good because what we wanted to add was more locations, but in particular more encounters. So we added some more locations, which really, I think, augmented. We also did something that I'd love to hear the chat's opinion on. So in some city materials that I've had, you know, they obviously you can't spell out every building, right? It's just impossible. And so you pick out sort of the cool ones and the interesting ones and all of that kind of stuff. But AJ and I were discussing this over the last few days, and we're going to add a table of about 100 locations, which he's almost done with, and that we just need to lay it in, with about 100 locations that don't have numbers, but they have the name of the place, what it does, and the proprietor's name. So that if you need an armor shop, or if you need a massage place, or if you need a place where they can get clothes, or if you need someplace where they can get healing or whatever, or even a magic shop where they can go buy, lesser magic items, those kinds of things. If you need that, that's all going to be in this table, along with all the locations that we've already significantly spelled out. So I'd love to hear your opinion on that in the chat. And Camera Mandy's not really looking at the chat, but maybe we should do StreamYard. Maybe we should dump this. I do think that we should. Lauren says all the time that we should dump this.
Well, vMix is great but like I've never tried 3-person call on vMix before, and so I am kind of wondering. But I'd have to stop the stream and restart it again.
No, I don't mean now. I mean, we can bring on Geeky and Rob.
StreamYard is not good for other things. Let me just put it that way. It is better for remote guest call-ins than this. So
and also, can't you show chat on the screen and I can look at chat?
Yeah, but like I couldn't, for instance, do 2 cameras in studio or 3 cameras in studio with StreamYard.
Why are all these things all sort of different features that really it'd be nice to have all of them? Okay. How come nobody? By the way, nice cup, cameraman. Don't you like my cup?
I do love your cup.
I think my cup is off the hook.
So basically, what happens is right now, if Rob gets on,
Geeky freezes.
So we will do one at a time.
Yes.
And we will.
And that's actually exciting to me because then I can control these two because they freak me out. Having both of them on together, it gives me a little bit of a nervousness. So many of you know Geeky Hoody, right? He's a little celebrity out there. People know him. Yes. He is one of our dear friends in Gooey Cube, and has been around almost since the beginning of the Goo. And we have a wonderful relationship. He and I chat fairly regularly over the Facebook, and of course, some of you know he's been out to various conventions. But he's a very inspiring individual and a person who I admire greatly for his positive attitude and the way he lifts up others on a consistent basis. And he's just fun. And so we're going to have him on because he and Rob are doing this thing together, which I wanted to give a little shout out to and have people know about that. And also, I want to talk about the Isle of Unduulu, which is on my list for 2025. So I want to talk a little bit about the Isle of Unduulu because we have been talking about it, Geeky and I, for a long, long time. But of course, I've got other things to do first. I got to get the mud mounds up, and there's a couple of other interesting things out there that have to get done. But Cameron Mendy, are we bringing him on, or are we not?
I'm working on it.
Friends, if you're new here, this is a low budget production, and I apologize that sometimes it is a low budget.
Streaming is just a totally different beast than
It's a totally different beast
than any other kind of video production. It is crazy.
Well, I do agree that we are a higher budget production than many.
That is true.
If I just grabbed my phone and sat here, that would be a different thing. But anyway, so let me tell you a little bit about Darkenhaven Vamp for Time on Camera Medi, but I think you'll be interested in it. But did the chat say they like that idea of that table? Camera Medi, do you even notice?
No, because I'm messaging and tech.
There's a lot of messaging going on over there right now. Anyway, so we have Darkenhaven. It does fit in the box. Lawrence would disagree with me, but it does fit in the box. We will be shipping.
How can you disagree? Like, isn't it a fact if it does or doesn't fit in the box?
Well, we're going to put in the magic item cards and the Gooey rewards cards on flats with perfs rather than putting them in stacked, put in the bags. So, and the adventure is going to be outside the box. And the player's guide is too, but the player's guide was never planned to be in the box. That's a new thing.
Listen, we need to talk about some stuff. Okay, so first off, Geeky's trying to get back in. So,
okay, yes, it's good.
Yes.
So what does the chat say about that table?
I don't know because I haven't read the things, but this is very important. So I sent out an email yesterday.
Email went out yesterday.
Yes. Next month, after the backer kit closes, we are raising the price of the Darkenhaven box to $150.
At least 150.
Yes.
Some people are telling me do 200. It really is ridiculous.
Yeah. I don't. Yeah. I mean, with the maps, with the floor plans, it is a beefy babe.
Well, it's an incredible resource.
Yes.
It's magnificent, and it's got wonderful creativity in it, and the inputs of all of not all, but many of our Gooey friends, right? Yes. It is wonderful. It is really enchanting.
Yes. So what is important though is if you want the Darkenhaven box or have any interest in it, it's right now on backer kit. If you back the Guys and Gags Kickstarter, only $105 with shipping.
Yeah, but you pay shipping, which is about $15.
10 to 15
on average. Yes.
Yeah. But you can also, if you did not back the Guys and Gags Kickstarter. Oh, someone's at my door. That was dramatic. Anyway, but if you did not back it, you can also just get it on our website for $120. So right now, like, it's the time to get it.
I honestly think if you did not do the Mornwood and all of that stuff that we did with the campaign, it goes right along with Darkenhaven. Go do a late back on the Kickstarter if you can afford it, and get Darkenhaven as an add-on. We're by the way, we're darn close to 100,000 in add-ons at the back end now. We still have about 17% of our base because a lot of people wait to the last minute. I know you know this. So we have quite a few people to perfect their surveys still. We are now just going to begin the strong marketing of it. We're going to send out notifications like this really incredible deal on Darkenhaven that you can go and you can go in there and get the Mornwood, the limited edition package. You can get the wonderful
Geeky is in, by the way, so we're ready to go.
All right, well, just give me a moment.
Yes. Okay.
So you can get the wonderful Mornwood campaign package that goes right alongside of the Darkenhaven maps and literally is right across the river. And then, of course, there's a wonderful adventure that goes along with that, all of that, called Blood for the Con. And it honors our friends Donnie and Andrea of Genghis Khan, has some of our friends in there, like Elijah is in there. And so we love what was done with that. So if you have an inclination and you have little resources and you want to support old Gooey Cube and you want to save a crap load of money, because you will, and get a limited edition that you'll never be able to get again, I would recommend going to do it.
Limited edition is for those who waited. The limited edition adventure?
You can get the limited edition as a late back of the Mornwood.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Cameraman, you need to do your research.
You need to do your thought process. Okay, anyway, I'm sorry. I'm tired. Let's go.
Grumpy.
Let's talk
very, very grumpy.
Let's talk
listen, Cameraman, as I understand it, you were out drinking last night with my daughter and Lolo. Is this true?
I will neither
Why don't you put yourself
confirm
on the
nor
screen,
deny.
please, Cameraman?
Because I want to put Geeky on the screen.
We'll get Geeky in a moment. He understands this. He does production. He knows how it is. Come on, Cameraman. Put your face on the screen real quick.
What?
Come on, Cameraman. Tell the truth. You were out drinking last night with my daughter, yes? And Lolo, who I love, by the way.
I do. I love Lolo too.
But you were out drinking last night with them, weren't you? You have a hangover this morning, don't you?
I don't have a hangover, no.
You have a little foggy brain. Tell the truth. A foggy brain, Cameraman.
I will not submit to this line of questioning. Where is my lawyer, Patrick? Okay. Anyway, let's bring Geeky on.
Yes, Sir Geeky.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, everybody in the chat, you got to clap for Geeky.
Clap.
Hello. Let me get my coffee ready. I'm sorry, I got a little magic into my coffee there. And then,
Geeky, is that Fireball?
No, that is totally not Fireball.
How are you, my friend? Tell me. Are you doing well?
I am doing well. Let me get a sip of this because I need it with all this going on.
Cheers. Yes.
I know yours is just full of Fireball, right?
That's Scotch.
Scotch. Okay. Close enough.
Listen, when you have all of the problems that we have on this production, if I don't drink consistently, there's no way I would make it through it.
That is not true, kiddos. If there's any kiddos walking at home, that is not the way to deal with your problems. FYI.
If you're watching, don't listen to me. I'm making all that up.
Yes, exactly.
If you drink enough Scotch, does that mean you can clearly see the tape that holds the fabric together?
Yes, that's right. You see it's all. So, Geeky, tell us about what's going on. Tell us about this little thing you're doing with Rob. Zix Gra Moops.
Well, this little thing that we do with Rob, of course, I met him through the amazing Gooey Cube community, and we decided we wanted to have a chat one day. He's all this wise words, and I'm me, and so I said, you know what? Let's just do this monk. I'm all about the monk. He's all about the magic. He knows the spells. He knows all that crazy kind of thing, wizard things that y'all do. I'm all about those smooth moves, in the comedy.
Just so we can be clear, Geeky, at our age, a smooth move is taking your X-lax with regularity.
Well, that's what the Fireball is for. So I can have it later. That's
Sorry.
Sorry.
So when are you doing this? You're doing this stream. Well, you live stream when? What days?
We do it Friday nights at 8 o'clock Central Standard Time, and we do lots of different stuff. We have a generalized. It's all tabletop role playing game stuff, and so we'll talk about, like, back in March, we did a kind of a March Madness of what the best settings are in tabletop role playing games. And I believe Gooey Cube got up to like third.
Which shows you very clearly, my friends, that I did not pay them off.
Yeah, that's an appropriate level for Gooey Cube, I feel.
So what was number one? What was number one?
Number one was actually Vampire the Masquerade.
Interesting.
Wow.
Very interesting.
Yeah, and Star Wars was second.
Well, they got a little backing.
Yeah, it was just about the expanse of how much you can. Yeah, it was between his picks and my picks, and his pick won. So I would have done Star Wars, and then you second. See, that would have been me. Would have been me second, but we had to do a roll off too. So if we disagreed,
well, Vampire is marvelous.
Well, we do lots of
Vampire's
we do lots of fun stuff like that. So we keep it quite lively. Last night we did what grinds our gears about the tabletop role-playing games.
Yeah, I saw some interesting comments.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we did mention some things about tiny text and 1,000-page volume books. I don't know who that might be in reference to.
Tiny
but
text. I've never gotten that complaint ever.
It's 10.10.
ever.
Ever. I'm sorry, Geeky.
Well, I'm the blind guy here, so you got to go with the money.
But that is why we give away the free digitals, right, with every physical purchase, so that anyone who is impaired, right, who can't see as well as others like me, I don't have as much impairment as you do, Geeky, but believe me, my eyeballs are not what they used to by any stretch of the imagination, and I have to magnify things consistently, with this computer, to make it bigger. So
I mean, we don't want to get too up close, and I've seen your face up close. We don't want to get too close. Zooming in on that. But anyway, PDFs, that was one of the caveats of it, was that so many companies are doing PDFs,
yes,
especially Gooey Cube. So
yes, well, it is important, and the nice thing is, I'll digress for a minute, but for for folks who have impairments, there's been a big movement on the internet over the last about 5 years for ADD compliance, right? And so, our day job is an advertising agency, and we actually manage a number of websites for our clients. And we have a whole strategy and a whole methodology that we go through to help folks who are not just seeing impaired, but also hearing impaired. Because if you're playing something, right, if you have a video or whatever like that, you got to have captions and those kinds of things to help, which is wonderful. I think it's a wonderful accommodation. It's appropriate.
Right. And then soon, y'all going to have the audio books too, right?
Camera Mendy.
Oh my God, I already feel so much pressure this morning.
Yes,
I'm doing okay emotionally, y'all, just so you know. Like,
good.
It's okay.
She was out last night, though, drinking heavily.
I was not drinking heavily.
I know these women.
Oh my God.
I know all three of them.
You just need a little magic touch. That's
but we are after. Okay, here's the problem. I have this really specific bottleneck. His name is Alphinius Goo, and he's very busy. And getting him into the studio while he's trying to whip out Darkenhaven is a challenge, and that's not your fault because you're accomplishing things. You're out there.
Yeah.
But I can't wait for people to see it. I just can't.
When they need you just whip out your Darkenhaven.
Yeah.
All problems.
I do think it'd be interesting, some of these lore, all the lore stuff would be really interesting to do a reading on, basically. And there's some things in the books that you won't want necessarily an audiobook on, like charts and stuff like that.
It's hard to do tables, right? It's it's obviously hard to do those, but I do think for me, as many of you know, not only being a map freak, but I'm also a lore junkie. Geeky, you and I have had this conversation about lore, right? And if you write it well, right, if you put it together well, hopefully it's actually entertaining for the people who are reading it, right, when they're going through it and doing that. And, Geeky, you're not in Darkenhaven, of course, because marvelous Father Geeky has the Blue Pearl Sanctuary in the Gloom. That's
right, in the Gloom Port.
But
yay, Gloom Port!
And it's going to be just about as big as Darkenhaven. It has the same size box already. So,
is that because my butt's big? Is that why it's going to be so big?
We need a lot of room. We have to have a lot of room for your fandango. All right, so take a moment. I want you to tell everybody, because some people know. Sorry, Mandy, but these things keep slipping. So there we go. Some people know, but a lot of people don't know about not just Father Geeky, but all of these characters that we have in the world of Zyathé. So tell us a little bit about Father Geeky, and you can even talk a little bit about how it happened and characters in the world and all that stuff. I'd love to hear that.
Well, Father Geeky is, of course, Maroon. He was once a barbarian on a ship that was attacked by some marvelous sea creature, and all of his crew died. That's kind of his backstory. And he was there missing a hand and missing a leg. And his lovely lady, Aquila, saved his life and gave him a magical crab leg, prosthetic leg, and a trident hand. And now he serves the lovely lady, Aquila, and started the Blue Pearl Sanctuary in the Gloom Port, which is the best place in the whole world of Zyathé. I'm just saying.
No, it's gonna be a wonderful location. It's gonna be a place to get adventures, right? And it also does a lot of wonderful services for the poor in the Gloomport, which I love.
Right,
I love
right.
that you
They
wrote
take
that
in a lot of the all the monks and the clerics and the paladins of Aquaria are located in there, and they protect the orphans, the homeless, those that are blood touched and such like that. The little lore of the Gloomagans is a little bit of a young child, usually between 13 to 16-year-old adventuring group that they go out and do little things in the community to help others. Kind of like Little Rascals, but a little bit more hell bent.
Yes, no, it's wonderful.
And,
It's really, I mean, it's wonderful. It's got great lore, and of course they are against, the Oath of Blood Syndicate, right? Doesn't like the Blue Pearl Sanctuary. So there's a big problem.
Yeah, we are definitely at odds, and we are definitely taking away the slaves and the orphans and the blood touched away from them and giving them a home and giving them purpose.
Yes, no.
So that's why I love it about it. It's
And
so amazing. I could see doing it all my life, playing in the Gloom Court because immersive.
Well, that was the idea, right? The idea was, as I've said a number of times on this stream, you have the city above, right? And then usually the cities have sewers and that kind of stuff, but the Gloomport actually gives you really a significant cavernous structure and all of that kind of stuff. It gives you not just, just ocean adventuring, right? Because you have dungeon adventuring, you have city adventuring, and then right across the river, right, you have wilderness adventuring, so you don't have to leave the city, go 4 days away or 5 days away. And I just love the compactness of it, and I agree with you.
I do too. Yeah.
You could play forever in just those three locations.
Play forever.
Yeah.
I mean, all these Destia and everything else is great too.
Yeah, but we want to travel, right? We like that stuff. Yes.
Right.
I have some questions from the chat. Also, thank you, Captain Shenanigans, for gifting 10 subs.
Thank you, Captain Shenanigans.
To the chat. Captain Shenanigans also asked, as we help those with visual or audio issues, what of those who can't pronounce words like these BS 20-syllable names that can't be pronounced? And I will say, Father Geeky, I do appreciate the simplicity of the name.
I believe he actually has a longer name. Doesn't he not have a longer name?
Yes, he does.
What is the longer name?
The last name is Capuchon.
Capuchon.
But he just goes by Father Geeky by everybody that knows him.
I have a personal recommendation for this because we're currently playing through Shadows and Gensicon. And it is really hard because you don't remember the names. You can't remember. You're trying to solve this mystery. And these names are just ridiculous. I'm sorry. I'm just going to say it.
This is called writing down a name.
So yes, that is my suggestion. On the back of your NPC cards, look at the name, pull out 5 letters of that name that make something very simple. And that's the name that you use at the table. So that is my personal recommendation.
I just really
makes
don't
it so much
like
easier.
everyone named Fred. Okay, it's just not fun.
Oh, I have a great
not
name.
Enjoyable.
Okay, so here's the deal. My GM Dory, she was trying to come up with a name on the fly, and she came up with Pilk.
Pilk's a good name.
Pilk, yes, because she was thinking of milk and she went with Pilk. But we have never forgotten the name Pilk. That is the one NPC. We made so fun of her for this terrible name.
Well, that's why you haven't forgotten it.
Exactly.
You made so fun of her because so every name in Zyathé should be stupid and terrible, and everyone should complain about them. Then you'd be like, we don't really like these names. We like a little more imagination. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I think
Geeky?
Father Geeky is a wonderful name that's also simple. 2 things can be true at once. So
I happen to believe Zix Moose is very memorable and is funny and wonderful too, and we call him Zixie.
Escargot is really memorable too.
Escargot is very that's exactly right. So yes. Anyway, Kemmermandy.
That's all I say is just look at the name before you even start the game. Write down a 5-letter thing. And I mean, I would say the publisher should do this, but I also happen to have inside information that the publishers are a little overwhelmed right now. So anyway.
So listen, Geeky. So I want to talk to you about this. So Darkenhaven.
Geeky is also a great name. I'm just going to put that out there.
Geeky is a great name.
An excellent name.
Thank you.
So Geeky, we got Darkenhaven. It is really close. I mean,
Yes.
it is really close, and it does weigh, as you know, about 10 pounds. And of course, we have the university there, and we got to bring on Rob here pretty soon.
Yes.
We have problems in the university because they have like freeze-dried monsters. You know, they're not really freeze-dried; they're magically frozen, right? So some of them kind of escape
Yeah.
sometimes, right? And this becomes a problem on the streets.
Yeah.
So does the Blue Pearl Sanctuary have anything like that? Any kind of weirdness like that kind of thing, or is it really just because isn't there a rumor of something underneath?
There's a rumor that there's this underwater cavern system that has not been discovered, and that no one has tried. Everyone that's tried to, who has actually found it, has never been found again, because the waves that crash underneath the water caverns,
Yes, the
are
tide
constantly, and
goes
you just
out.
have to get
Yes,
right,
the tide goes out and then it comes in and
comes in, and if you don't know that right timing, but supposedly at the very bottom of that cavern system is thousands and thousands of gold and silver just waiting to be claimed, but no one can ever get to it or bring it back up. So
So you see this, Remedy, this is what I love about the world of Zyathé. The world of Zyathé, there would be no Blue Pearl Sanctuary if there was not Geeky Hoody. And that is what I love about the world.
That is what I also
Yeah.
love about our community in the world of Zyathé.
Yes. Because when you go through it, you're going to see stuff from like James, and you're going to see stuff from Brittany, and you're going to see stuff from Geeky, and you're going to see stuff from Harry, and on and on and on. Paul's got stuff.
And whole adventures from Rob. I mean, Rob's got a whole adventure there.
Yeah, he wrote. And we got to do. And we. So listen, y'all. I just want you to know we're trying our best to get stuff out as fast as we can, and we're doing. But there's a limit to what our humanity can do. But on top of that,
right, exactly.
I am a problem, Geeky, in that regard, because I do. I do tend to want to make it extra good, and so sometimes that it's like I want to get out. There's 4 adventures I want to get out, and one of them is, of course, the Isle of Unduulu, because the blue shines is so wonderful. It's just the timing of being able to do so. But Geeky and I are going to collaborate on this, right? It's on the map. It's already there.
It's already there.
Yes. And just give them a little premise, and then we'll let you go, and then we'll grab Rob.
Well, it's an island that has recently come up that the ships that go by it seem a strange, bright light emanating from the actual island, but no one has been able to get close enough or to go examine said island, because they continue for some reason break down and shipwreck right before they get to the island. So they have to get rescued, and they just avoid exploring the thing. But there be tales of wild creatures and wild magics, even perhaps some powerful stones that might be shooting down said ships.
Yes. Well, did we not have a little chat that it might be a little like Lost, the TV program?
Very much so.
Yeah, a little like the Isle of Dread.
So. Kind of the Isle of Dread aspect a little bit too.
Yes. Yeah.
Might be a little big lizards there and such.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, it's and again, for me, I want it all now, right? I've said this to you before, right? I mean, Sundestia is, we started down the road of Sundestia, 2 years ago practically, and we just can't do it. But to move from Verdestia through the Blue Shines down to Sundestia, to see all the interesting sort of piratey things going on in the Blue Shines, for people who love pirates, right? That's the place, right? It's just going to be wonderful. And then all the way down to the northern Sundestian coast, where the Imperiums, right? These incredible societies, the 3 different societies that are down there that just basically own that whole area of Sundestia. And then, of course, the Fireborn that come out of that. I'm breaking out the Fireborn in Darkenhaven. So we're actually going to have a Fireborn character, and I wanted to talk to you about the possibility of, because when the War Ruin happened, they were most of them were on the eastern side of Sundestia, where the Duunsara Sea is now, and so most of their people were wiped out in the War of Ruin, and so they're sort of nomadic. They don't really have a country. they don't have a place. And so I was thinking maybe it might be cool to have Father Geeky, along with Tisha's character, of course, to have a Fireborn character in the Blue Pearl Sanctuary. So it's a little discussion we have to have.
There's already been a little bit of plan of that already. Those and the other little creatures, they seem to pop up in the Gloom.
Fey Muddles, yes?
Yes, the Fey Muddles, yes.
Anyway.
They all have a place.
No, it's a wonderful concept, and I love the idea of it. And I love the fact that the Oath of Blood is against the Blue Pearl Sanctuary, because it gives us room to move. I love the idea that we have a dungeon underneath it. I mean, it's a lot. It's wonderful. It's wonderful.
Yeah. Great stuff.
All right, well, we're going to let you go and get Rob. I'm sorry that we couldn't do you together at the same time.
No, it's okay. It's okay. He's going to be a lot more technical, and he's going to be a lot more magical. I'm just the guy who's going to get drunk.
I think it's called charismatic wonderfulness.
Yes, charismatic wonderfulness.
There
now,
you
Geeky,
go.
are we seeing you at Gen Con?
No, not this year, but you'll definitely see us at Genghis Con.
Genghis Con.
And we're going to come up early so we can get some of that pizza in.
Yeah, was that not so good?
Well, we didn't get it last time, but I'll say this time.
Oh, that's right. You missed out on the pizza
you mean
party
at Andy's house?
At Andy's house.
Ah,
that's right, because you were come a day.
We're going to drive up.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, perfect.
We'll have to see if Andy's up for hosting us again.
Yes, I wonder. Andy, are you in the chat? Are you hosting again? No pressure.
Yeah, no pressure.
No pressure at all. I'm just going to put it out there. You see a fat guy coming to a pizza party, he may want to cancel. Just saying. Thanks again, guys. Love you.
Thank you so much.
And just one more time, Friday nights.
Friday nights at 8 p.m.
Central.
Come find me on Geeky. Yep, Central Time. Yep.
And what's the
Monk and Mage Show.
Monk and Mage Show.
Just find the Monk and Mage Show
on Facebook. Yes, I'll put a post. I'll put a thing in the chat for when Rob's on. So,
all right.
Cool.
Thank you so much, Geeky.
Much love, my friend.
No problem, guys. Love you guys. Bye now.
Bye now.
All right, so now I need you to vamp for time.
I need to vamp for time
while I get Rob.
So I want to talk a little out of turn about Geeky. So but I think it'll be okay. So Geeky, has a condition called diabetes, which many people have, and it has afflicted him. And the reason why Father Geeky does not have a leg is because Geeky doesn't have a leg. And many people in his circumstance, not being able to see very well, having lost a leg, might be bitter. And I just want to tell you, he's one of the most positive people I have met. He is always uplifting others. He never has, I mean, I'm sure once in a while we all have sadness, right? But he just never seems to have sadness. And I am just so proud to have him be a friend and be a part of this wonderful, wonderful Gooey community. Geeky, I love you, man. Truly, I'm so glad our paths crossed, and so thankful for your contributions to not just my life, but many people's lives with your wonderful outlook, your amazing positivity, and your dearness. It is a wonderful, wonderful thing. So, all right, cameraman, I will get myself emotional here if I'm not careful. So I need to chill back. What would you like me to vamp for now?
You don't have to, because Rob's on.
Oh, 6 gram moose.
Hold on, I just gotta get. Actually, I lied. I need another minute.
Oh my gosh.
I know. It's almost there. I'm so close.
Cameraman, I hope we are somewhat entertaining for the people who watch this thing. We have so many wonderful people who watch us on a regular basis.
I am told that the unprofessional nature of our show is actually what makes it entertaining.
No.
Hey, Rob.
Look, it is 6 gram moose.
Hello.
Oh my gosh, I'm so grateful that we finally got your video working. It really just came down to having
Do we have audio?
at a time.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yes, absolutely. Hello, my friend.
Hello, Alphinius. It's a pleasure as always. Not here today as Zix. I am here as the Mage of the Monk and Mage Show.
And what is the Mage of the Monk and Mage Show named?
The Mage. But I am Rob Gussie.
Well, hello,
itinerant freelance writer, huckster, know-it-all, generally the person who brings class to this tawdry establishment.
Yeah, that. Well, it's good to see you. How's the family? Everybody good? Melissa doing well?
Family's good. My son just graduated, so he's now no longer in high school.
Yes, that's magnificent. I saw the
Congratulations.
picture. It was wonderful. Melissa
Yeah.
Melissa actually sent it to me, which was wonderful to see. It's great.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you.
So Geeky
But,
told us a little bit about the Monk and Mage show, but I want you to tell a little more. So what was the inspiration
Sure.
for this? How did this begin with you two?
Well, Geeky and I met through Gooey Cube. Nothing else about it. We liked each other's sense of humor and fed off of each other in a couple of comments. And over time, I think we got to be pretty good friends for people who've never met in person. I love Geeky's charisma and charm, and he and I both have very similar outlooks. We both have similar disadvantages, too, that we talk about and commiserate about. Neither of us have perfect eyesight, for instance. But in general, we just are kind of like kindred spirits who come from different backgrounds and everything. But I have a ton of respect for Geeky, and he has done nothing but bring good things into my life from our working together. And I am always looking forward to the next opportunity to work with him. The idea for the Monk and Mage show was purely his. I think it came about. Somebody asked one of those, if you were a class in D&D, what would you be? And I, of course, I love wizards. I always have. I'm much more of a Merlin Gandalf type than a Conan type. And I love the cerebral nature of the wizards, and I just love the idea of earth-shattering power if you have a dedication to your craft. So as a result, I posted that. Of course, Geeky loves monks. He kind of looks like a monk. So, it works.
Yes.
And he's like, hey, we should get together, because he watches the videos that I put on my own Facebook channel that I do every night or every other night. And he's always there, always giving me feedback, always throwing in a kind word or some advice or inspiration for more conversation. And as a result, I always look forward to seeing his name pop up. And eventually I'm like, we should do something together. I haven't done a good podcast in a while. I've had a couple, but and he's like, sure, let's do it. I'll just throw something together and we can do this. And he threw out the Monk and Mage idea, thinking, hey, we got to play off of each other like that. We both have things that are our strengths, and both of us have things that perhaps we can boost each other on. I have a background where I collect a lot of role-playing games. I'm not interested in any one role-playing game, so I have some depth and breadth and perspective. Geeky brings passion, charisma, and also depth in a lot of games that I'm not even familiar with. He's introduced me to a number of them. So together, we're a lot stronger and I think more interesting than any one of us.
Yeah, so you can talk a lot about different things, different aspects of role-playing games, but not just role-playing games, right? Because you guys talk about beyond TTRPGs a little bit every once in a while, right? You also talk about board games sometimes? Or am I
Well, we're friends, so we talk about stuff.
Sure.
Without going into, we mostly focus on tabletop role-playing games. We talk about stuff.
Mostly fun. It's just it's kind of comedic, right? I've watched it a couple times. So
I did put the link in the Twitch.
Oh, in the Twitch is right there.
And so it's a Facebook group.
Camera Mandy, can you switch to you, or you can't switch to you?
Why are you about to blow your nose?
I got to blow my nose. So Rob, I got to tell you about this, and everyone else, you need to listen to this. So we live in this place called Colorado Springs.
Hold on.
Okay, and every spring there's lots of ponderosa pines here. Lots of them.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of ponderosa pines. And every spring, they let out. Oh, there's Camera Mandy.
Yeah, I put it to myself.
Camera Mandy.
So
hung over Camera Mandy.
I'm not hung over.
Thank you for allowing me to blow my schnoz.
Y'all,
I
did not drink that much last night.
Yes, Camera Mandy. Clear. I already talked to Kimmy. She says you were dancing on the tables.
No.
Okay, maybe that's a lie, but
you couldn't have drunk that much.
Huh?
You couldn't have drunk that much, Camera Mandy. There's still some left.
There's always a little bit more. Anyway, so these ponderosa pines release in this time frame this massive amount of pollen. And I'm not talking, so Rob, you need to know this. This is like a cloud kill spell, okay? So I'm driving down our street, going to our home, And in front of me, I see all this dust. And I'm like, dang, who's driving a tractor? You know, because all the dust, because the wind's blowing a little bit, and there's all this dust in the air. And as I get closer, I realize, oh my God, it's not the dust. It is the pollen from the pines. There's just this massive cloud of it like flying across. And I mean, it's flying across. And so this is, that's why my eyes are watery and my nose is runny and all of that stuff.
Sounds like something that should be in one of our adventures.
Oh, the cloud.
And just think, Alphinius, all of those trees are trying to reproduce with you in your car. Isn't that special?
A little bit of reproduction going on. Yes, that's right. I'm inhaling their stuff. I don't know that you want to do that. Jeez, oh God, turn on the air conditioner. So Rob,
I have a question for Rob.
Well, go ahead.
What is your favorite subject that you've spoken on so far?
Oh yeah, on the Monk and Mage show.
At one point, kind of showing off the differences in our philosophies, Geeky had the idea of doing a March Madness style breakdown of our favorite tabletop role-playing games and give us a real opportunity to kind of explore and critically analyze, in some cases, why we love the games we love and how our opinions and feelings about these games have changed over the course of our enjoyment of the hobby. And I really do think that we broke some interesting ground where we changed our minds a couple of times and learned about new games from each other and different aspects of the game and got new appreciation of it. So that was one of my most enjoyable things that I've done with Geeky so far.
Yeah, he talked about it as well. I know when you were trying to get on, you probably didn't hear because you're trying to get on, right? To figure that out. But he talked about it.
I did take a chance to look, so you guys were fun.
Yeah,
absolutely. I wish I could have been there with you.
I know. I'm really sorry. At least now I know that if we're going to have multiple guests on, which we are for the terrain talks, we're going to have to do StreamYard. Yeah. So I'm sorry that I did want to test it yesterday.
She had to go drinking.
No,
yes, drinking with my daughter.
I had a video shoot. I had a 3-hour-long meeting.
And
then I went out with the gals. So I am sorry. I feel terrible about it. But all that to say, I am grateful that we were able to get you on today. And Rob, can you tell us a little bit? You recently game mastered for us at GaryCon. How did you enjoy that experience?
Oh, it was incredible. First of all, getting to play with the toys, like the Carnival 3D setup was a lot of fun. And of course, I did it in character, in costume at the con to try and draw eyes and to get a little bit more into it, and that was just a blast. And even the more intimate settings where I did the Ghost Stone for folks, that was a hugely enjoyable game. But really, just feeling finally like I'm part of the community again. It's been kind of a little bit of a lapse since I've been contributing with Gooey Cube, and I miss it. I do quite a bit, and having that opportunity to be there and be helpful and spread the word of I'm never hesitant when I do my videos and stuff talking about the things that I really do enjoy and appreciate and admire about Gooey Cube and the products, but it's different when I'm actually in the mix. The whole time I was working on, for example, Strangely Gooey Holiday or working on editing a piece here or there, it's a different feeling, and it's something that I tremendously missed, honestly. The sense of purpose and stuff that sometimes I tend to wander a little bit when left to my own devices. So that was great. And of course, hanging out with all my Gooey friends wasn't just a bonus. It was the purpose that I was there. I missed Alphinius. I missed you. And getting to meet Lawrence, who left a massive impression on me. Such a great guy, and everybody, all of my Gooey friends. I had lots of love, but it was absolutely incredible. And I like to think that I comported myself and fulfilled the responsibilities of such a monumental role as showing people the Wizard's Muse and all of the things that we do with making Dungeons and Dragons a better game. Honestly.
Absolutely.
Well, I mentioned earlier on, I mentioned the 4 adventures that I want to do, and one of them is the sequel to Strangely Gooey Holiday, right? So, but I don't know. 2025 is going to be interesting.
You're booked. Sorry.
It's 2025, Cameron.
We're booked. We're booked.
I think
we have Monsterca. We have chapters 5 and 6.
6 and 7.
So, you know what I'm saying? Not to mention Guys and Gax in like the first quarter.
Yes, but that's all got to get done before 2025.
But, yes, agreed.
That's all got to get not
We're in June, and we have Gloomport.
We're fine.
We're fine.
We got Mornwood out almost on time.
Almost on time.
It was very close.
We just really, because I think that it was supposed to be shipped in September. Was the Kickstarter date?
October, November, something like that.
Yeah, it's June, and we're still finishing shipping.
Yeah, but that was
Also,
another-
I got a note in the chat. Sorry, Rob, to interrupt on something. We are sending out revised Game Master
we are.
reference books, and people have been receiving them, and they deeply appreciate them.
Yes.
So thank you so much.
I've received mine, and I do appreciate it.
Well,
Yeah.
we had a goof up.
Keep your original one.
Yeah, keep your original
Have
one. There's only
Alphinius
like
sign
a
it.
couple hundred
It'll
of
be
them.
collectible in 100 years.
Yeah, well, Cameron Mendy, I'm old. Once somebody kicks the bucket, usually things go up in value. So, but no, seriously, that we had a goof up, and we don't know how it happened, but for certain, we did one round of printing, and we did a round of printing that had an old file. It literally had a file from before, and Andy sent me a message. He said, "Is this table of contents right?" And I said, "I don't know." And so we went and looked and went, "Oh my God, we have a different file." So we had to send all the people who got that a revised or the Game Master reference. But like Mandy said, keep that other one because there's 200 at most, 150 in the world. I mean, it's that's all there is.
Okay, before we get back to
Well,
Rob,
I took a look at it, and I could just hear Alphinius going, "No, Rob, it's perfectly fine. That's a writing style. Ha ha! That's the Gooey Cube style." And I'm like, okay, whatever. It's still readable. It's still workable.
in the chat, it's 10:50. We're gonna do TIAMAP, hashtag TIAMAP to enter.
TIAMAP, and also TIAMAP, and also if you're in the Discord and you're in the Facebook sometime next week, we're going to put up the entry for you to be able to enter to get another entry for the TIAMAP giveaway. So keep your eyes on that. Both Discord and Facebook, you're going to have an opportunity to enter.
Nice.
So that's coming because we are soon to give it away.
Yes,
Very exciting.
the entry or the rolling for the Tiamat is happening June 29th. It is written in stone because it is on my notebook. So
Yes.
In pen.
Yes, we got to get
In
that. We got to
pen.
give people their chances in the Discord.
yes. Okay, Rob, can you tell us about some of your own like little ventures? Because you've written some of your own stuff, little mini adventures, and you've even created your own game before. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
My role-playing game?
Yes.
Sure. I'll do the one that's closest to coming out. It's called the Traveling Hat Club,
Oh, I love this.
which is appropriate in this group.
Yes.
As a matter of fact, I think I gave a one-page copy to
It's still on-
you, Cameron, Mandy, and you.
It's still on our
Alphinius.
yeah, it's literally at the top of Alphinius's pile on his desk. I look at it
Sits
every
right
time I go
there.
in. I know.
So basically, I wanted to make a role-playing game that anybody could play a role-playing game anywhere with practically nothing. So the Traveling Hat Club is a game that's light rules enough that children can play it, and the only thing that you need is, besides paper and pencil, 10 pennies. And you can play this game, and it can be as deep and as rich and interesting of a game as the person telling the story wants to make it. It's very, very, very simple to the point where it's incredibly flexible. You can tell a science fiction story. You can tell a deep fantasy story. You can tell a modern day setting, no problem. But the thing about it is that it encourages wild creativity and cooperation without a lot of the trappings that can drag down a game for people who just want their imaginations to be explored and expressed. There's no initiative. First person to call, somebody who's excited to do something gets to go first. There's as far as worrying about tables and rules, no. It's very simple, very straightforward. You toss as many coins as appropriate for what you're trying to do, count the heads. If you have enough heads, you succeed. And if you have more than what you needed, you're going to succeed very well. And if you get fewer than you needed, and by a lot, then you're going to have a rather clumsy failure. The kids version, nobody dies, your character faints, and then you pass the spotlight to another character, so you're never completely out of it. You just address the situation from a different angle. So that is my intention, to put that out as a way that, even if somebody who's an adult is out hiking and they feel like playing with their friends who they're hiking with, if they have a piece of paper and a pencil and 10 pennies amongst them, they can play a role-playing game. And yeah, I'm pretty happy with it.
It's awesome. And also, of course, you wrote Strangely Gooey Holiday for us, right?
I did.
And
Yes.
and since just to take a moment, and you could be shamelessly commercial about it because it really is fun. It's a wonderful.
You can be shamelessly commercial about our Gooey Cube product on our Gooey Cube Saturday morning stream.
Buy Strangely Gooey Holiday.
Well, Strangely Gooey Holiday, of course, was Alphinius's idea. He promised it in the initial Kickstarter back in 2020. And he basically came up to me and said, Rob, I have this adventure I need written, and I really like your sense of humor. I think that you could do it justice. Could you please write this out for us, and it'll be fun. I'll have the art for you. I'll have maps for you. It's going to be great. And I'm like, well, how can I say no? I've always wanted to do this. And Alphinius and I had talked before. He knew that I had been struggling trying to get printed, trying to get work in somebody's hands who would actually possibly make my dream of being a published author true, and never was able to. And taking his work, he gave me the time to cobble it together. And I put in a nice little, I think it was a total of 50 pages about an adventure using his own character of Alphinius in his world of Zyathé in his own tower to be able to explore a little bit of his home and add in some of my own penchant for whimsy, mixed in with some pretty horrific art. Scary stuff. It's not a lightweight adventure.
No.
And make it this wonderful modular adventure that a game master can give the players exactly the experience they want, with all kinds of fun holiday-themed creatures and a plot that leaves plenty of room for the sequel, which is always important.
Well, that's the 4. I got 4 adventures that I want to do with our friends, and I mentioned the Mudmounds earlier, and of course Isle of Ulu, and the Strangely Gooey Holiday sequel is another one. So I think we had a chance.
I look forward to having a hand in that if you'll let me.
Yeah, I think we had a chance to do it in 2025. So if everything goes as planned, we will get Guys and Gags out in January, right? That will be the goal.
The digitals
in January, and then start shipping in February. At that same time, we will do the second Guys and Gags, the sequel to that. And as part of that, I want to put in a couple of these side quests, for lack of a better term, as part of that. And then I'm kind of overhanging the market here, but it looks very much like we're going to do this. There is a place also in East Fredestia called the Grenwood, and the Grenwood is of course our nod to Ed, right? And we have had the wonderful privilege of getting to know Ed over the last year and a half or so. He's trying to be on the game show, by the way. He's trying to see if he can make that work. So it looked like
Ed's wonderful. He'll be a big plus.
Yeah, it'll be wonderful to have him.
Rob, are you able to go to Gen Con? That was one of the questions in the chat.
It's not so much a matter of able. It's way too big. I don't think I'll ever go to a Gen Con ever again.
But I think we're getting him back at Genghis, right, Rob? We're trying to make Genghis work this year again.
Or Gary.
You're trying. I don't know if it's going to. It's pretty unlikely at this stage. I only have so much of me to go around, Alphinius.
Grab that, Melissa. We'll see him at GaryCon we'll see at GaryCon for sure. Yes, because that's right there.
Yeah.
Yes. But no, it'd be. But anyway, so if everything works the way we think it is, we'll somewhere in the later part of the year, we're going to do a Kickstarter with Ed.
Nice.
So and around the Grenwood, and very similar to the idea of what we're doing with Guys and Gags. We're starting the planning right now, and we're very excited. We're going to work with his friend Ivan, who is just a wonderful young man, and hopefully help Ed make some money. We want to do that for him. We want to make a little cash.
Well, it sounds like you've got all these big plans and all these projects, and one thing that helps big plans and big projects is having some hotshot freelance writer or editor in the wings who can jump in and help pound out a project like that.
Guys and Gags,
I'm just saying I know a guy.
Guys and Gags is the next thing that everyone will be able to contribute to, and I'm hoping for that we will be able to do that. That one I can't really parse out to any writer, because it's me and Luke that are primarily going to be working on the writing for the Guys and Gags stuff. The campaign, however, will have a lot of contributions very similar to what we've done in the past. But then there's, like I said, 2025. Just keep your pants and don't get your fanny in. What is it? Don't get your knickers in a wicker or something like that.
Knicker,
right?
Okay.
A knickers and a wicker. Isn't that what it is? Or it's like your.
Well, you realize you can say anything. You can say anything, Alphinius, and all of a sudden it's a saying in Zyathé, so.
Don't get your knickers in a wicker. I'm putting it in Darkenhaven.
Oh dear. Okay.
So anyway, no, there's stuff coming
In a bunch,
Knickers in a bunch.
or
But
in a
knickers in a
twist.
wicker sounds much better.
It does have a ring to it.
Oh,
So
yes.
It's knickers in a twist or ladies' undergarments in a bunch.
Oh, okay. All right. Got it. Well, anyway, so yes, there's more stuff coming, Rob. I'm just, I'm trying to pass things around and give different people opportunities and all that stuff. And I already know that you're on the list for the sequel, right? So I know you have another project coming just when we get it done. So that probably will be in the Ed Greenwood Kickstarter as part of that. That's probably what we'll do. But I don't know.
You know I'm free, Alphinius, whenever you need me.
Right, you did a great job. There was no complaints whatsoever, and all your contributions are great. Right, I mean, it's just you write well, sir, and I appreciate that.
Well, I like to think there's a little bit of me in Darkenhaven coming out since I did some work on the Riverside District.
Unequivocally,
there's a little bit of Zix that's been creeping through from what Carrie's told me.
Yeah, Zix is out there.
I've got things in Eastford Estia and Encyclopedia Magica and a couple of adventures, so I can't complain. I'm very happy with being able to contribute to Gooey Cube, and I hope that I have more opportunities in the near future.
Absolutely. Well, the thing is, this was the idea, right? You and I talked about this long ago, right? Oh, you got a question, cameraman?
I'm just letting you know that it is 11:01.
Oh, 11:01. Okay,
Yes.
well, we're gonna let everybody go then. But it, the part of the idea was to create a collaborative world, and doggone it, we succeeded, and I love it. I love it. So.
Absolutely.
Rob, this is the last thing before we go. Do you want to give everybody one more time the Monk and Mage information, just in case they missed it? So the time and all of that stuff. Fridays.
Of course. Monk and Mage, me and Geeky, wrangling about games and fun. We get together on Friday nights, 8 o'clock Central, on the Monk and Mage Show Facebook group, which Camera Mandy has already said she is going to be posting a link to.
A secret Facebook.
Geeky provides the charm, I provide the brains, and we somehow make it work. But it seems to be entertaining and people like
it. Yes, you are both fun and wonderful. All right, we're gonna get out of here, Camera Mandy, and let everybody go. Sorry, I was a little low energy today, y'all. I did sleeping long.
Yeah, there was someone in the chat that pointed out the hypocrisy of you drinking a bunch of wine last night and then giving me a hard time for going out to the girls. And Cassius, I appreciate that.
I'm a parent. Parents always do shit like that. Oh, did I say shit? My bad. Rob, my friend, great to see you. Geeky, if you're still watching, much love to you, my friend. Camera Mandy, thank you for everything you always do so wonderfully well. And for all of you who hang out with us and watch these goofy shows on Saturday morning, much love to you as well. Very excited to show you Darkenhaven. For all of you who, Camera Mandy, this is the truth, right? So you could actually get Darkenhaven, I think it as a lower price is like $95 if you did it in the early bird, right? Was it like 95
It was
bucks?
under $100.
Yeah.
Somewhere in there.
Yeah. So I do think there is not a purchase in the TTRPG world that you will look back on and not think that there was. I can't imagine much better value than that. And like I said, I mean, some people are telling me sell it for $200 because of how much content. But wait till you get it.
Let's see.
If you haven't done it, if you go get the Mornwood, late back that dang thing.
Sorry, the guys and gacks.
And
Go back the guys and gacks.
oh, I said the Mornwood. Sorry,
Yes.
my apologies. Go late back the guys and gacks.
I'm sorry that I'm leaving you on camera, Rob, for all this.
No, Rob can make faces and do fun things.
Yeah, just be
So
goofy.
go back the Guys and Gags Kickstarter if you can. Get the limited edition. It's almost done. You'll not be able to get it again. And then do the deal on Darkenhaven. It's there. If you got the resources, you'll help us. We are 78,000 away or something like that from getting to Ed Greenwood's sequel.
We hit 725 last night.
Oh, so we are past it then.
Yeah, we are past the next stretch goal.
Yeah, so that means that we're on our way. So we got another stretch goal. So we added another stretch goal to everyone who's doing that. And then so we're $75,000 away. We have the month of June before the backer closes with the late backing period. And you can add Darkenhaven at a really, really good value. Right?
Yep, absolutely.
All right, there's the commercial, Rob.
I like Rob's expression during the whole thing.
It's great to see you, my friend. Thank you for joining us today.
Always a pleasure, Alphinius. One wizard to another.
Yes, indeed. May all your adventures be sticky, my friends. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Bye-bye now.